Good evening once again. Welcome to the Issues Room. Another presentation here, but this time our 100th presentation. It's been a while. We've been over a year now, and we've been bringing you issues, especially the news coming from Liberia and the continent of Africa, and sometimes we bring stuff here in the Black diaspora. We'd like to welcome all of you, our viewers, here tonight. Again, great conversation we're going to have. I can tell you, you've seen the promo, you've seen the flyer, and again, we want to encourage you to share the link, invite a friend, because the conversation here tonight will be very, very intriguing. We also want you to come and comment, because our guest tonight will spill it. He's talked about serving and campaigning for two presidential candidates. First, George Weah, and formerly Alexander Cummings. So he's going to tell us what happened in those camps with him and why he decided to walk away and what's the future for him when it comes to his political propaganda, because he says this time is all for a better Liberia. So he has to explain that to us tonight. I'm Volcano Shelton. Let me welcome my colleague out there in Delaware, Moses Sandy. Good evening. It's good to be back. This is an exclusive. We're still kind of hesitating whether there will be a broadcast tomorrow, but we'll see. So we wanted to have this exclusive, none other than bringing Jay Randy in the house tonight to talk about what I just said, that he'll be elaborating on his relationship with the CDC and the ANC and why those relationships are no more. But Moses, good to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you, Volcano. Uh, like you said, this is an exclusive presentation giving the relevance of the topic. I just want to tell our many viewers that we had to come today. Our podcast is normally on Tuesdays and Fridays. I would like to join you in welcoming our people wherever they are to join us for this very important discussion. Volcano, it's always pleasing to be in the same studio with you discussing the issues that matter most to Liberia.
Thank you. And just talking issues, I know that the news continues to come out of Liberia, so you probably have something tonight to present to our audience. Um, I haven't been following the news lately. And when I say lately, meaning the last 48 hours, because I've been so busy. And not only that, man, I have a personal issue that I have to address, and
Mhm.
it's bigger than myself. But I'm not going to talk about it here. It's not something that I want to talk
Yeah,
about, but it's just something personal that I have to handle. So I kind of like had to focus on the me, in the
yeah,
meantime
yeah.
to get things situated. But go ahead, tell us what's happening. You said Alexander Cummings had a press statement today.
Yeah, he had a major news conference in Monrovia
Okay.
to speak to some of the critical issues in Liberia. I watched the news conference, a couple of things stood out. And one of the most powerful statement that the ANC standard bearer made is that Liberia is on autopilot, implying that no one is in charge. The presidency, according to comments, has no clue
So
what to
then,
do.
where's the co-pilot? Because we know that Nathaniel McGill was the pilot. So
Also,
If Joshua was the co-pilot, what happened to him?
man, look, and his other spoke his mind. Mr. Cummings spoke his mind today, and what he said, Volcano, is nothing new. Everybody knows that. Whether you live in Liberia or not, everybody knows that Liberia is on autopilot. According to Mr. Cummings, President Weah has no clue in terms of what to do to take control of things happening in the country. He went further by urging the Weah administration to quote unquote stop the stealing. use the nation's resources to support the ongoing democratic process. He called on the administration to lend financial and logistical support to the work of the National Elections Commission because he believes Liberians need a true democracy come 2023. I think these are salient issues that he talked about. And let me wrap it up by quickly saying that I think to a greater extent, I agree with Mr. Cummings. George Weah has failed Liberia. Everybody knows that. It's no secret.
And I got this to add. I was speaking to someone day before yesterday,
Yeah.
and the guy said, "Listen, my brother, don't even waste your time to come here." He said, "Right now, the country is in a serious, serious mess to the point that it's like a flow rag." The man likened the country,
Yeah.
Liberia, to
That's
a
very
floor
debasing, man.
rag,
Yeah.
and he lives there. He said that's how things are bad. Everyone uses Liberia like a floor rag.
Right. Yeah.
You know what a floor rag is? And then he
Yeah.
even went to the point to say, "Hey, remember when we were growing up, when they take your t-shirt, the one that already ripped or
Yeah.
something, and they use it
As a
to wipe
flow,
the
right?
floor?"
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the situation in the country. That's the situation. He said everyone is wiping the foot on Liberia.
Yeah.
Everyone,
That's not,
foreigners, the sub-region, everyone. No one gives a crap about Liberia. Liberia doesn't have no prestige, no image. He said, we just here. He said, you walk the streets, you see the little kids selling between cars, 6, 7 years old. How do these guys feel? That's what he was saying. He said, some
it's
of us just here because at least we can find something to eat and at least I got a little job. But at the end of the day, I am stressed because people bother me all day, every day for help.
it is a
Pay this
sad
child school
situation.
fees, buy this one food, do this. He said it's just unbearable that some days some of us will fall and drop,
Wow.
you know. So Moses, I just thought to throw that in. Liberia is a floor
Yeah, I
rag,
mean,
you know.
yeah.
What's his name? Kofi Wu said Liberia is in peril and is sick.
Terror, yeah.
Come and say Liberia is on autopilot.
Autopilot.
And now this gentleman is telling me Liberia is a floor rag. Everybody wiping their feet on it. So more, more,
Autopilot.
more, names will come out. More names will come
Yeah.
out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. It's a sad situation. Very
Yeah.
sad.
So
Yeah.
when we talk these things, people say, "Oh, you just want to talk because you want to talk." But the people in the country, they feeling the pinch. They're saying it all day, every day, all
Yeah.
day, all day, every day. So
No one
Moses,
seems to be in control.
tonight we have a conversation here to hold. Uh, the name J. Randy Dapoor, an environmentalist, uh, political talk show propagandist and commentator who has been involved with two presidential aspirants. One became president, Manan Wia from the CDC, and he walked away. And then he started to support Alexander Cummings, and this guy was spending the hours upon hours. He's driving, he's talking. He has any opportunity. He threw his support for Cummings. And surprisingly, the other night we brought him on, and he said, "My man, I'm done with the people." Because we call him, in as one of the guests to make an analogy of what
Yeah.
a Cummings boycott or
Yeah,
analysis,
could
right?
make a
What a
good
Cummings
team. Yeah.
boycott ticket would make a difference. And he said, "My man, I don't with the people." And so we decided that he had an opportunity to talk, but we didn't want to sway from the conversation. So we thought to bring him back. And that's why we gave him our 100th edition tonight. It's a milestone to be celebrating your 100th edition. And who better we could bring in the house tonight? J. Randy Dapoor. the no nonsense, the uncompromising, the controversial, the man that say attention seeking, the man that say he's a grievous seeker. They're giving you all kinds of names, brother. But welcome to the issues room. Thank you for honoring our invitation. We couldn't do it better, but to have you here so you can tell your story.
Yes, guys, again, and thank you so much for the opportunity. If you are not someone that people talk about, then you nobody on the face of the planet here. And the worst people in the world, they got documentary of them. The good people, they got documentary. The neutral people, they are not heard of because of their neutrality. But I like the way Liberians are, and describing me. But their honesty is what we are going to discuss here tonight. Why are they describing me the way they're describing me? And I will give you guys a true definition. Liberia is the third category in the world. We have the white man world, we have the black man world, and then we have the Liberian man world. When I mean the white man, anyone that doesn't look like us, and whether it's Japanese, Chinese, we group them as white in my definition. And all the blacks, whether you're in South America, wherever you are, and then we have the Liberian people. Yes, that's who we are. But so I would like to say big thank you to every one of you guys, especially Moses, you and Volcano, for giving me the 100th edition of this program. It's something that I'm very happy about, and I wish you guys the best. And I'm very excited to be here today.
Thank you. And let me say welcome again to the Issues Room. It is always a pleasure to have you in our midst to discuss the contemporary issues that matter most to Liberians and peoples of the world. Uh, bef- to kick off this discussion, talk to us. Who is J. Randy? Who are you? I know you are a prominent political commentator. Like Volcano said, you have championed the cause of uh, two prominent Liberians. The current president, George Weah, you stood with him, you brought him to the presidency, and you left for political reasons. You joined the ANC. Now this time you have chosen to walk away. First, let's get to know you. Who is Mr. Randy?
Yes, and that's a very valid question. Like you said, my name is Jay Randy, and I hail from River G, but I was born in Yucapa. So I have my birthplace as Yucapa, but my parents are from River G, live in Moroville, never went to any university in Liberia except for high school. So right after high school, I came to the United States and completed my education. All right. I currently hold 3 degrees, and they are all into technology and the environmental world. Um, I am an environmental professional, and I have been working in the field for 17 years now. And I also have extra habits, and that is discussing Liberian politics, which I started since 2010. And I come along with understanding how the minds of Liberians on both sides of the coin, as well as the politician in the country. And I find them very interesting. I'm a very resourceful person. I'm very jovial. If you get to know me, you will get to know that I'm very soft. But if you also get to understand me, I'm somebody who mean business. And all these different characteristics stem from what I experienced while growing up as a kid. So it is a pleasure, and to be here. I love all Liberians, but what is good for you should also be good for everyone as well. Yes. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
Are
Okay,
you a
let's
family
start.
man?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, quickly. Are you a family man?
Oh yes, I'm a family man. I've been married since 1998. We still together. Some of my friends and my wife friend, when they see her, they say, "Oh, you still with the guy?" I say, "Yeah." Just tell them, say, "You got a wheelchair now." And they say, "For what?" I said, "Well, when they were young when they met. Now he's getting old now. So the next time you see us, we'll be in a wheelchair." So yeah, so I have a family. My daughter is in college, hoping to graduate next year. I have two little ones. I'm very family oriented, and many Liberians would find it very difficult to find me to Liberian gatherings such as party, baby shower, and stuff like that because this society I grew up in Liberia, guys, it that kind of confined me. because again, it was based on how I was brought up. You live with people, you have to marry what they ask you to do in order to pursue your education. So that part of the training has been part of me today. So even when I come home from work, I'm in the house by myself. I don't go out, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm just a guy who an Irish person. And so yes, I'm a family person, been a very long family person, very, very much engaged in my children school activities. And I also, on the other hand, too, I also help many Liberians with academics, issue. When you come into my house, make sure you come in for academic things. But I won't say I don't socialize. I do socialize, but my priority is, academics. I want you to be academically strong, most especially in the society here, so that you can be able to stand your ground. Then we'll do the next or the rest after that.
So,
Dear
Volcano,
Randy,
quickly, if I may
let's
just
start with
ask, okay, go
this
ahead.
conversation. Set the tune for us. I like to go from the ladder instead of going with the George Weah. George Weah is already president. He's enjoying his life. I saw the man dancing with all the women there in the stadium the other day. I said, "Well, the guy enjoy oh, the man,
Yeah.
the man enjoying." You
Oh,
know,
my man,
so
but just seeing the man dancing, they say the man enjoy, my man.
the
Yeah,
man
no,
enjoying.
man.
The man was doing. The man was teaching all how people must do the dance. Man
The
got free
president got to
time.
enjoy
Oh,
himself. The president got
Yeah.
to
wow.
enjoy
So
himself. He got to
actually,
enjoy
I'm not
himself.
starting with him. I want to start with
Okay.
Cummings. That's why I say I want to start from the ladder because
Okay.
this is the existential issue right now. Let's
Hmm.
start from here.
Okay.
Alexander Cummings, quiet, cool, calm, collective, smart guy, corporate guy. Made his living through honesty, work hard. Uh, went through the ranks and file until he got to a chief executive position, vice president of Coca-Cola Global. That's a pride for Liberia. Just like George Weah was playing soccer and he won the Ballon d'Or. In sports, we can consider Ellis Cummings, achievement as a proud,
Oh,
proud
yeah.
for Liberia,
Yeah,
right?
significant accomplishments.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
he decides that he wants to be president. Jay Randy sees some things in this guy that kind of motivated him to be gravitated toward the guy. You said that of all of the political candidates, I heard you clearly say that Cummings had the best platform that he presented. So when you see all of this, you took on the armor of propaganda, the armor of campaigning. And Randy, I followed you. I've seen a lot of your work. I see you, and I will be honest here, being disparaging to Barker, being disparaging to other candidates, but in the same vein, was very, very comfortable with Cummings. So what happened now that all of this good relationship is severed that you have decided to walk away from campaigning for Cummings, a man who you believe in his political ambition, you believe in his platform, who you thought that would be a better president. Are you then now seeing that you want a better Liberia and you've seen a candidate who you thought that could be a better president, you're walking away? How do you reconcile the two? So what really happened? Tell us. Walk us through the timeline. We'll give you about 7 minutes to make your case.
Yeah, so the way I usually explain my thing is based on data collection, but now that you are restricted me and don't want me to go back to George, we are kind of make it a little bit a
I
challenge for
didn't
me. But
restrict you. What I said,
No, we
George
were
has
giving
enjoyed.
the
We'll come to Weir.
opportunity. Yeah.
We'll
okay,
come to
so
Weir. I
all
really
right,
want
so
us.
Yeah.
I want us to discuss the
Yeah.
Cummings
yeah,
because right
so
now Cummings is the issue.
yeah, so what I was
Cummings
trying
needs
to
you.
say,
Cummings needs you more than George we are right now. Put it
so
that way.
well, both of them still need me. I'll tell you that one right now.
No, what I
Yeah,
mean, Cummings needs you. But
yeah,
George we are already tasted the presidency. So
yeah. So what I wanted to say is the question you asked has some historical retrospect for me. So I would not try to deep dive into that. But what I would just start with to say is the lesson that I learned from President Kennedy Weir, um, are part of the reason why when I evaluated Mr. Cummings' interaction. And I want to be very specific here. My interaction with Mr. Cummings is not the same as a distant view of Mr. Cummings, because I know there are some of your folks here who will say, "Oh, did you check him out before you go there?" No, I did check him out from a distance. but also I have to associate myself with him to clearly and understand who he is. So, like I said, among the opposition, Mr. Cummings does have a very good platform. I have looked at the platform very well, and my my gravitation towards Mr. Cummings, it is very universal. It is universal in a sense that if it does, I mean, whatever anyone tries to do, if I see some equity, some equality, and some transparency, then I tend to gravitate towards you. So when I left supporting President Weah, I remain neutral. That is just discussing all three of them, like you said, Volcano, talk about Poca, President Weah, and Edison Cummings. There were times that I started to lean toward Mr. Cummings, and I was drawn towards him because of a political platform. The platform he has is very transparent. It has what I think many Liberian needs. So from a distance, I thought it was that it won't be better for me to just distance myself. So based on that interaction, I started to like favor my conversation on my platform almost every other time. And this is a magnetic view of many parties in the country. So many of them started gravitating towards me. So in April of this year, I got a call from Aseva Topa. Aseva Topa, he took me to CDC as well. So he contacted me and said, J. Randy, yes, I think Comey would be a better candidate if you don't mind. I said, well, if you say so, I still have to evaluate him, even though I've been trying to push some of his agenda, especially when people are taking disadvantage of him. Because one of the defense that I came in favor of Mr. Cummings, there was some guy saying that Mr. Cummings got to Coca-Cola through affirmative action. And I like, look, the affirmative action may sound just like it was coming from your mouth. However, there are steps and processes that you have to go through in order to be confirmed as someone who is in that position. So don't fool your people. And I think that conversation really brought more ANC people towards me. So long story short, in April of this year, Mr. Cummings, through Asifa Togba, he introduced me to another gentleman called Edos Munger. All right, Edos is the ANC global guy. So Edos called me and asked me similar question that mostly asked me about my background and my expertise. So in April, I had this Zoom call with Mr. Cummings, and in that Zoom call, he introduced himself to me for the first time, likewise myself, and then he asked that I join his team to support him, um, and make Liberia a better country. So I initially said I would think about it, but he specifically stated that he wanted me to be on the policy team, and so I like okay. I also have my own show that I talk about, but then he came by and said, no, I would prefer you to be on the policy team. So I went back again. I said, I do have my show. And then he said, okay, I will talk to Asiva Tokpa to see what can be done. But I look forward to you joining my party. So from between April to up to June, I was having these series of conversations, still leaning toward Mr. Cummings, but then many ANC folks started inboxing me and liking what I was saying about Mr. Cummings and stuff like that. So by the late June, I got an invitation from the ANC Global because ANC Global is like regional. So ANC, I think Southwest or South ANC invited me to participate into their fundraising program in Florida. So I made that trip to Florida, and then for the first time, I met Mr. Cummings. When I met Mr. Cummings, we had a discussion, and I think there's one thing Liberians need to understand about me. When I say something, I mean it. I know we are all Liberians, but I think many times we tend to overlook things that people say because of our past and how we handle things. So when I met Mr. Cummings, I said, Mr. Cummings, it was pleasure talking to you. Now we looking in the faces of each other here. And I think there's a photo I took where Mongo was in the middle and I was to my right hand side of the picture, Cummings was this way. So in that conversation, I was explaining to Mr. Cummings my past experience with CDC, and my support for him will not be party based. It's going to be based on an independent view, because if I join his party, I will be subject to command and control. I don't want to do that. And I told him, I said, where I'm coming from, there are a lot of lessons that I learned. So I just want to be straight up with you that you, in particular, is the person that I would like to reach out to if I have any issue. So he said yes. And then we did the photo up and stuff like that. The following day, which was Saturday, we spoke. And then that afternoon while he was leaving, he asked that my number be given to him. All right. So after we returned to our bases, a Sunday after that, I received a text message from him, and he like, "Thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate your input as well." And I said, "Well, I look forward to working for you as well." And then the following Sunday, I believe he called me and said, "Hey, J. Randy, what's up? How you doing?" And I said, "Everything is okay. I'm okay. I'm fine." And then he said, "Well, I just called to touch base with you." So whenever we have this kind of friendship conversation, I go out there and let folks know that, oh, Mr. Cummings is a people person. And when he's called me, we say hi, nothing confidential. There are some confidential things Mr. Cummings told me I'm not going to tell you guys here. Uh, but he did call me on one time and says some confidential information will be coming up. Just keep it on the table, which I did, never brought it up. But in the casual conversation, I will come out here and present Mr. Cummings as a leader who is really in touch with people. And he calls you, and in all honesty, and I said I had campaigned for Mr. Weir, and all the year Mr. Weir never called me. So this is something I was very proud of. And imagine, and you want to see a celebrity that you wouldn't see on TV, and they come to your home. You're going to be happy when you go to your place of work. So I took something like that, but some people weren't happy about that, but we'll discuss that as the time goes by, especially when the question comes out. So the second conversation we had, Mr. Cummings said, whenever you have any issue, please let me know. So wanting this question down now, the text message I sent to him, because we've been texting. First text message, second text message. The third text message, I said, Mr. Cummings, I would like to speak to you. He said, okay, I will call you over the weekend. So he did call me over the weekend, and it was that time when I sat on the phone and said, Mr. Cummings, here is my strategy plan for you. I said, Mr. Cummings, we are going to establish the independent supporter of Mr. Cummings. And here's why. There are people in Liberia that believe that they must leave their party to vote for or to join another party in order to vote. We're going to change that around. Secondly, your platform is so unique. I think that English will not be enough to convince the people. The next thing I'm going to do, we're going to create a vernacular. We're going to get the 16 major tribes that will start to push your agenda through the different dialects. And then the third thing is we are going to get a radio station to do that. And then the fourth thing is I want to make sure from now, because I was in July, from July to December, I want your name to be very popular in the ears and mouth of the Liberian people. Those are the four agenda I gave to him. And he was like, wow, I couldn't believe this. So just within a week, this guy called Gleway McIntosh, if you remember, when he was joining the party, he said, I'm not leaving my party. I just believe that Mr. Cummings is the right person. So I'm going to join Mr. Cummings. Just in that time, I signaled Mr. Cummings. I said, I just heard something that I said, and then he gave me the thumbs up. So to he and I, it connected because we started to tell Liberians that you don't have to leave your party to join ANC. You can remain in your party and vote. Boy, but when I started to move in that direction, things started to get a little bit rocky now. So the first time I appeared on the radio show, the station is called Liberty Radio Station. When I got on the show, the guy introduced me and said, "Jay Randy, when they when the QC, that they call and they answer, that I call the QC, they call, they provide
Yeah.
questions. Many of the guys started saying to me on the phone, "You come here again, oh, you gave me your George Weir. I mean, you are giving me your George Weir. You come here again with comments. I hear this thing in America, I hear it online, and I hear it in Liberia. Because when I supported Mr. Weir, I was very vocal in the country. From 2010 to 2016, we're all were on the radio until I declared my intention to support Mr. Weir in 2016 to actually campaign for him. So by then, I was already popular among the Liberian people. So when I started supporting Mr. Weir, people believed in us about what we believe Mr. Weir was going to do. So, long story short, many Liberians today see things differently now. However, they tend to blame us. So when I got on the radio to run that show, I specifically told them, I know you people said that I gave your president Weir. They coming, I'm going to support. A comment does not give me answer that I want. I will not support comments. Many people overlook that. And I'm saying it here. Whatever I say, please do not overlook it. Why am I saying it? Because I want to gain the confidence of the Liberian people. So on our very show, we ran the show every Tuesday and Friday. What I started to do, I started to map out Montserrat County. And the strategy is call me from the 17th district in Montserrat County and tell me whether ANC is part of that district. Out of the 17th district, District 11 and District 17 call, the call keep coming, it kept coming, that we don't have no common person here. Why it is true that sometimes people will call just to trigger things. I took that, but I decided to verify. At the end of the show, I text Mr. Cummings. I say, "Hey, Mr. Cummings, this is very urgent. The plan that I discovered with you, I just gather information. I'm an engineer. We gather data to make decisions." So I said, "Mr. Cummings, I need you to please reach out to me." In the response, Mr. Cummings said, "I will call you 3 p.m. GMT time. Is it okay with you?" I said, "Yeah, it is okay." I went back on the show and told the people, I said, "We'll be hearing from Mr. Cummings very soon." Like I told you guys, if he doesn't get back to me, I will see no reason to move the show. And I want you guys to understand, when people say you gave us George Weir and what they are seeing, they need clear evidence this time around. And how do I position myself? To be as transparent, confirm, and very firm on what I say. So Mr. Cummings promised to call me to discuss the issue. Now, people will say, "Oh, but why you do that? Why you do this?" But remember when I told you guys in Florida, I told Mr. Cummings, "I'd rather deal with you." It is upon Mr. Cummings to say, "You know what, Randy? I know where you're coming from. But you see that my lieutenant here, he holds my key and everything. If you cannot get to me, get to my lieutenant." He never said that to me. And I look up to him. Another thing, he didn't say to me, "Pick up the phone to call me." I got his phone number here. You have to be very sensitive to people who you work with and people around you. If people texting you, they rather go by text. You don't pick up phone and just call people. So I had never ever called Mr. Cummings because he had never told me, say, "Call me." He usually texts me and I text him back. So I've been expecting that call from him. Even though he didn't call, I text him back. I never bothered myself to call him because he had never established anything. That call never came. I went to the office that
And so
Friday.
till today, the call has not. You
It
have not
had
got the
never
call.
returned, never been returned, never returned.
Okay.
So I went back on the show and told the people, I said, "Look, y'all know who I am, right? So I'm going to terminate the commission program." Why? Because I went on air, like how on the show. There were many ANC people who saw what I was saying. I saw Mr. Cummings, he's not going to court for me to say, "You know what, Randy?" Telling myself, he's busy right now. So cool down. No. Cummings is not hospitalized. Cummings is not in jail. Cummings did not vanish. I see Cummings every day. Once in a while, I text him and say, "Hey, Mr. Cummings, I still waiting your call to return." Never a return call from me. So I said, you know what? Maybe things are not working out. And so I decided to say, you know what?
Wouldn't you think that you like patience? Somebody listening to you tonight will say, on a one instance, Mr. Cummings doesn't return your call or doesn't text you, and then you just all of them, you snap your finger and say, "I'm done."
Well, the definition of patient is in the eyes of the individual. Oh,
Patience should be required in politics, though.
yeah, but here's the thing. All right. How
But
long should
he
patient
I
last?
think,
How long should patient last?
Randy,
You just asked me
Randy,
to, hold on, bro Moses. Hold on, bro Moses, please.
no, I just wanted to buttress the point you're making. That
Okay.
you said patient is subjective. And basically you're saying that what I may consider to be now, for another person, it could be months. So, we agree with you. He didn't get
Yeah,
back to you. And you have
yeah.
your own time frame based on your definition. You say, hey,
So
man, it's time to move forward. Go
so
ahead.
that's the thing here, all right? When I say
Mhm.
patient depend on the definition, I
Yeah.
want you to understand that where I came from. There are people who still see me as flip flapper. I say always say flip flapper. This one. They don't say let's be patient to understand how Randy operates. By the time you flip your switch, they call you flip flapper. They're not being patient to understand what I'm doing. So I'm dealing with a society that interchange every time. Secondly, there are people that are broadcast to every Tuesday and Friday. These guys are waiting. Do you want me to keep telling them, oh, let's have patience, and you know the kind of people you're dealing with? Unless you haven't served as president or minister to understand that Brentford mindset. Still, you ask me, say, up to now, he hasn't called me. So should we keep dragging on until after election? He hasn't called you. Should we keep dragging on until so and so? So the patient depends. But what I want everyone to understand here is Mr. Cummings doesn't have time on his side to exercise that long patience. He had been dragged into court for many months. I came to his team as someone who have made somebody president. I have the resume. I am an added value. I am not a liability. I am a fixer. When I see things, it got to be done, and it must be done in a specific time frame. Those who carry Mr. Cummings in 2017, they got no better resume. They made Mr. Cummings to lose. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and I know exactly how things can escalate and how I know how things can redirect itself. So when it comes to that question of being patient, I exercise all patience by getting to Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings will go attend other programs. When I sat with Mr. Cummings and gave Mr. Cummings my blueprint, he told me to say, when you have any issue, as a leader, you got to have the matrix. You have now, you know, when you draw a cross, you got the 4 quadrant. Is
Yeah.
Randy message important? That's the first quadrant. Yes. What do I do if I cannot get to Randy? Well, let me assign somebody to Randy. It's called decision and priority. But Mr. Cummings, in my opinion, did not exercise those things. Election is
Do you
about now.
think do you think he overlooked your importance, or he has
No,
overlooked your importance?
no. Yeah, what I think
So,
happening. Yeah, what I think happening. Mr. Cummings is a very nice guy. But remember when I told you that whenever Mr. Cummings talked to me, when I come out here to say there are some people in the ANC camp that are very jealous. I will be upfront with you. Some of them have not even had the opportunity to talk to Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings never called them. And I think what I was doing was getting to some of them. Like, for example, oh, Mr. Cummings just called me to get started. It was boring in some of them. Yes, it
so
was
Silly
boring.
Boy is getting popular,
Thank you. And that is the natural phenomenon. So those who are closer to Mr. Cummings is like, this
Yeah.
guy just come, he just got in here. He's a
General Nathaniel McGill, who came from from Winston Tottenham and now again.
Wisdom to
I mean,
yeah.
begin.
the CDC man ain't let her go. They happen for a
Okay,
situation.
so here am I here taking
Yeah.
photo with Cummings, telling the people out there, Cummings doing this, Cummings doing that, and I'm getting people in my ears. My man, the thing you're doing, you're hurting a lot of people. And then when I look at the entire structure, okay, so let's come to some specific here.
So,
When
Mr. Dapo, just
yeah,
before you go further, Volcano, let me just ask you this question. And to piggyback on what Volcano said, when you deal with leaders, sometimes you have to be a little bit considering
mm,
in making some decisions.
true.
There was just one interaction.
No, there
He
were many.
promised to get back
There
to you.
there were many,
Yeah,
action that led to my
yeah.
decision.
Let me
Let,
let
let
me
me just
just
set the record
complete.
straight.
Yeah.
My
Mhm.
departure from the ANC is not just based on this. There are
Okay.
multiple things that are coming through the pipeline, but this is
Yeah.
just
So,
the first incident.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
just concerned about the promise
okay.
that he made to you, and he never got back to you, and predicated on that, you say it's time to call it a quit.
But
No,
And
he
you
just said
no, no,
Moses,
and
no, no,
Moses,
no,
yeah,
no,
Moses.
no,
He
no.
just
yeah.
said multiple. So just let him go to the
Okay.
multiple.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
just
no,
tell
no,
us.
but the point I was trying to
Yeah,
drive,
but
yeah,
he
you
said that was
decided to
just one
move
of the
forward.
issues. So just let
So,
him tell us the
yeah.
other issues. I think
Okay.
that's the way to
So,
go.
yeah, so let me ask you this question.
Mm,
Already,
mm,
before you form political alliance with any politician,
mm.
what drives your political philosophy? What are
Well,
you really looking for?
I
Yeah.
already told you, and I said it, and I repeat myself again. I
Yeah.
believe in equity,
Okay.
equality, and transparency.
Okay.
When I look at Mr. Cummings,
Mm-hmm.
when I look at Mr. Weir, they all said things that measure up to what I just listed. But when you
Okay.
start to interact with people, they say, can't spend time with me, it's different from can't live with me. When you
Yeah.
start engaging them, start challenging the status quo, that when you will make that determination whether what they're saying indeed they really represent those things. And that when
Okay.
things start to happen. So
So just tell us the other part of
yeah,
the
so I'm
other.
coming to that now,
Yeah,
right?
peel
So
the
Yeah.
onions for
yeah,
us.
so when Mr. Cummings never returned my call, I went back on the show and told the guys I will not be pushing the agenda of Mr. Cummings until we get over the hurdles.
Okay.
So I decided to slow down on the show because when you negotiate, you always got to negotiate at the highest end. When you are in the institution, you got to show to people who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I allow the language version, I mean the language version of the show to go on
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Mr. Cummings. In between that time, I kept sending text messages to Mr. Cummings. He never responded. Mr. Cummings work with corporate. I work with corporate. Every one of you guys work with corporate. Communication is key. All right, it's key. The fact that he responded to me, I think there was something that he had an obligation to. I don't know about the other people, but every one of you guys that are watching me right now, if the IRL call you tomorrow and say, "Look, we'll call you tomorrow to give you your account number for your refund," if you don't get that refund, wouldn't you follow up? Of course, many of you guys will follow up, right? So
Yeah.
people who would come in and want to say, "Oh, the man this," let somebody get
Especially
fired.
especially if the refund is big refund.
Thank you. Thank you. And the person say, "Oh, I will call you." Many people here will be the first to pick up the phone to call the next day if they don't hear the call that very morning up to lunchtime, right? Now,
Yeah.
so Mr. Cummings did not call. And what ran through my mind? What the heck going on? I have folks out there waiting for me. So I decided to go low on the show. And everything I did, I made an announcement to that. Everything was transparent. On my way to work, I said, "Look, guys, if I don't hear from Mr. Cummings, I'm not going to move the show." Because what I said to these people, many of you guys follow me, you watch the show. I made a commitment to those people. I will not move forward with the show. I am a man of my words. I stand by my words. So he never called. So in the process, the next thing I know, Mr. Cummings is bringing Daniel Chia and others to come and join the institution. I'm like, wow, these are the very people who disorganize our country. If Mr. Cummings is bringing these people, it's going to be very difficult for me to work along with them, especially when they are the face of the party. And here's why. These people harm other Liberians. In my opinion, I I cannot go to a community of people and say, "Hey, this guy Daniel Chia is in Cummings camp. He is campaigning for Cummings to make Cummings president. You know him? How can I convince someone who have been victimized by somebody who caused that victimization? I can't do that. I will only accept if they come to that big tent and only be member, but not the face. That is my own personal discipline. That is my own personal equity because they did not give other people the equality that they felt were in favor of them. It is me. It is Jay Randy. It is my decision. I hold no allegiance to anyone's feelings, but this is how I feel. And how I feel, let's say one of that man comment, somebody rape your mom, your sister, and you see that kind of person. Will I be brave to go and campaign towards you? No, I will not. So I made that decision to say, you know what? This is getting too worse now. If he bringing these people, then I don't think the principle on which he came to say we can't keep doing the same thing over and over, it represents this change. Even if you say people are corrupt in the country, what about those that were born 2000? This year, they are going to 22 years old. Those that were born in 1990, they are going to be 32 years old. Can you find good people to be the face of the party? Of course you can. But if he chooses to do those things, I had no qualms. But Moses and Volcano, I cannot work with these people, especially to be the face of them. I cannot campaign with these people. They harm our people. They did bad to our. They never provided equality. So I
anything,
cannot
anything
work with them.
else?
And that was
Anything else?
why I decided to leave. Now
And
hold on. The
Mhm.
last reason here,
okay.
when I joined the party, after Mr. Cummings and myself did the photo up, the ANC communication team, do you know that they never invited me on any of the platform?
So let me ask you quick, just before you proceed. You said join the party. Did you join or did you sympathize
I
or
mean, when
support
I
the
mean
party?
join, that's a very valid point to clear on.
When you
Because maybe
form
they don't see you
alliance,
as
Yeah,
I
a
think
member
that's
yeah,
what
of
he
the
yeah,
meant.
party.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. When I threw my support to Mr. Cummings, we took that photo. That photo was a representation that, you know what, I'm ready to work with Randy. The responsibility of the communication team, even though I did not support, however, I decided to campaign. The first thing that many of them did not do, bring Jay Randy on their platform. Hey guys, this is Jay Randy. Hi, Jay Randy. Let the audience get to know Jay Randy.
We call it the
They-
right hand of fellowship. There was
Thank
nothing
you.
extended to you.
Nothing at all. Nothing. You know, in the European world, when Messi left from Barcelona and went to PSG, they brought him on the field. The president, everybody brought the spectators and said, "This is our guy." Even though the guy is a destroyer, he's now working for us. What does that mean? They want everyone to embrace him to make him feel at home. The communication arm of the ANC did not do none of those things. And when I saw that, I was like, this is not going to be a friendly environment. Why? Because some of them are feeling the defeat. Remember, every one of these guys, I whipped them very good during the campaign of Joshua. I whipped all of them. I even got photo of some of them watching me destroying Boca and Cummings. So me coming to support them, not every one of them happy. Most especially when I'm getting close to Mr. Cummings. That is a fight, but they will not admit it. So based on all those things, I decided to say, you know what, this is not the place for me. And even all the time I was on my show saying that, oh, Mr. Cummings need to get to me. Now one of them ever pick up the phone to call me and say, hey, Jay Rennie, how can I help you? What's going on? When I meet top notch people, I am also part of the ANC policy team. I have never ever come on air or told anyone in confidence that I dissatisfied with them. No, the policy team, I think because they are professional guys like myself, we work together. We had no issue. But the Facebook ANC folks, I don't see that collaboration with them.
Let me go to
So,
intermission quick,
Mr.
Moses.
Dapo,
If you're just
okay,
joining
yeah,
us,
go ahead.
this is the issues room. We have in our 100th edition. Monday is not our broadcast day, but we thought to bring in Randy on this exclusive because it was very necessary for him to come out here and make clarifications. I know a lot of you are writing because you're thinking in your lane, but Randy has his lane. And if you
We'll
can
come
just
to
come
that.
here with an open mind and listen, and maybe you will draw, something relevant from the conversation, and that way you can go informed. But again, our broadcast is on Tuesdays and Fridays, but we're having this exclusive to bring in Randy Dapo. We might be broadcasting tomorrow, but it's still on the surface. We'll let you know at some point during the course of the day. In the meantime, Volcano, Shelton, Moses, Sandy, we're here in the issues room. This is where we discuss the things that matter. We are the alternative to all of you other social media platform, even the J Randy Dapper platform. We are the alternative. Okay. Welcome to the Issues Room 100th edition.
Yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Dapo,
Yeah.
I just want us to do a comparison here. You talk about Mr. Common bringing in Daniel Che, Louis Brown, and others that are associated with the former NPFL. But before these people came on board, Mr. Common had and continues to have a very strong relationship with another Liberian who also has character problem, Mr. Musa Belede. Belede is known in Liberia, also Liberia internationally, for having integrity problem.
Mm,
He's currently serving a 10-year FIFA ban
mm,
for misapplying funds given to the LFA while he was president. And as a result of that, he's restricted from going to any international matches that involve FIFA.
mhm,
He was indicted by the Liberian government for misapplying or failing to account for the 4 million US dollar rule fund. And Mr. Cummings is a guy who goes around portraying himself as an advocate for integrity,
mhm.
a better Liberia. When you were out there championing the cause of Mr. Cummings, you never condemned Mr. Cummings for maintaining, a very strong bond with Mr. Ability.
Mm.
So, what makes Musa Ability different from Louis Brown and the others that you have spoken against? Because
Thank you.
all the guys have integrity problems.
Yeah, that's a very good question. The reason I really did not focus on Mr. Ability, if you remember the
Yeah.
CPP collaboration, Mr.
Hmm.
Ability was not at the table at that time. It was
Okay.
Mr. Boyka, it was Nomdi Kanga, and it was Mr. Cummings. Those
Yeah.
are the guys. Ability was just a carryover. It just Ability became very popular recently after Nomdi Kanga left. But had Nomdi Kanga been on board, Ability would have been a secondary person. And that was the reason I didn't focus because Benedict was like in the back. He was not like the face as the way he is now.
No, Mr.
That is why.
Dapple, quickly,
Uh
Mr.
huh.
Dapple, quickly. When you were out there, I'm sure Volcano can remember when you were out there, championing the cause of Mr. Cummings. Then Senator Yomdi Kanga, the former vice president, others were no longer part of the quote unquote CPP. It
Correct.
was Musa Belete, it was Alexander Cummings,
Yeah.
and the others. And since then, Mr. Belete remains a very good friend
Mm-hmm.
of Mr. Cummings. Now, Mr. Cummings decides to reach out to other Liberians with similar, integrity problem. And you say, oh, well, I can do business. But now what makes Musa ability quite different from these people? That's
And I
my
just
question.
told you that. I just told you during the formation of the CPP, it
Yeah.
was brought together by the major political leaders, as they call themselves. I don't have issue with Nomli Kanga except for her honor and poor performance. All right.
Mhm.
So she came to the Liberty Party. Musa Bedete was a secondary person, in my opinion. He was not a major player. He only
Yeah.
became a major player after the agreement had been signed already. He chose to stay and became the face of the left over or left behind Liberty Party. So I'm not going to hold Musa Bedete in that perspective. Now, if Mr. Cummings himself, where I hold him accountable and responsible, going out there now on his own, and bringing these people in, it is his own individual decision. The CPP was a collaboration. This time around, it is Mr. Cummings' deliberate, honest decision that he made. Whether he vet the process to get these people, I don't know. You don't know because he never said, I have a list of people that I'm going to properly vet, and here are the names of these people. A collaboration, you got to trade in, you got to take some, you leave some. That why make it collaboration. But when somebody take upon themselves and make a decision, then the role of our accountability and responsibility as partisans or Liberians that's supposed to participate by asking questions, those are the questions I was asking. And I
And you're
felt
right, and
that
I think you're right. You lay the cards right. Bellite was under the CPP banner, under the Labor Day Party. These guys were individual people he brought in the party. Thanks for
thank
that
you.
clarification. But
Thank you.
quickly, man, I don't want us to dwell on this. It's almost 8 o'clock. We'll be opening the lines shortly. But before we go to the We Are segment,
Mhm.
is there any hope for reconciliation that you will stay with the ANC if Cummings were to reach out to you?
Well, it's going to be impossible because my position, I don't think they're going to take me alone to override their position. One, if they do need me this time around, they have to pay me for my knowledge. That's condition number
Some
one.
people say you are full of yourself. Some people say
Well,
you
that's their own definition. We
okay.
all get we people will describe you the way their man perceive things. All right, people will describe you. I'm not the first person. Elon Musk today is being criticized because he are taking over uh Twitter. People will say things they want to say, but you got to keep your focus. You got to maintain your own integrity. You got to stand behind what you believe.
They said
One,
people are writing say they don't believe that Randy can give Cummings the presidency like he claims to have given
well,
George
I
Weah the
already told
presidency.
them. I already said they want to play that hard ball. I already told them that with all men coming
He
cannot win
said, "Ah,
election.
boy."
Let me make it clear here. Without main comments cannot win election. Take this. This is 100 edition. So whoever forget it, just go on Google 5 years from now and tell
All right,
me
so I'm,
they
I'm
won't
putting it up. Vera Harrison, nobody needs you. Go on your own.
don't let the people dictate the conversation.
Okay.
Volcano, you
So
got to
no,
understand these people. Don't
no,
let
no,
them
I
dictate the
understand it, but
conversation.
I'm just making. I'm
Yeah,
listen. The people
these guys are very smart. They come to make comment to sway the conversation. So don't
they're not
mind these
swaying the
guys.
conversation. I think they
Okay.
have legitimate. They have
Yeah,
legitimate
but
opinions here.
I'm not trying to
Randy,
run your show, but
yeah,
I
but
think for me, I will read these things when the comment section
Randy,
can come. Not
yeah,
when I'm explaining my stuff.
yeah,
And
but
we
Randy,
got
listen,
uh-huh.
listen. Honestly, people would think that you are suffering from sulologia fantastica, which means
Hmm.
that you're so grandeur in your thought that you brought we out to the presidency and you can bring Cummings to the presidency,
Yes.
and they have the right to differ with you because they
Yeah.
think that
And I
you
don't have
know
issue with that.
you're not doing much.
I
So
don't I don't
go on
have
your own and see.
I don't
And now
have
you make. I'm coming. You're making a
uh,
declaration that you, without you, Cummings cannot be president. So my
yes.
question again, please answer it direct. If
Hmm.
Cummings reaches out to you based on this emphatic statement you've made that
Hmm.
without you, Cummings cannot be president, Cummings
Yeah.
go to bed and the Mami Wata. Then he said, listen, that thing that man said, you better believe him. Go to him and beg him, and he comes to you. Are you saying that money has to come on the table at this time?
Because my knowledge is not free.
Okay,
You're an educated man. They pay you well, they're not paying you for free.
granted.
All
Okay,
right.
Okay,
So here's my
so
condition here. Here's my condition. The question you asked. If they
good.
do decide to bring me back, they have to pay
Mhm.
me for my knowledge.
Okay,
Two, they have to remove these guys who are the faces of that party because they have done bad things to people. Three, Mr. Comey have to re-engineer himself to be a more communicable person. Those three conditions, if they are not met, I'm on my own. That is who I am. I don't care about other people's feelings who may have attachment to Mr. Cummings, but don't understand what it means to be a leader, someone who believes in ethics, someone who is morally and have that integrity. I don't know about them, but that's my condition. All right. My knowledge is not free. Or
so
reason.
Randy,
and
you
Moses.
just clarify, yeah.
Yeah, Moses. I was going to say let's. I think this answers the question. He gave his three
Yeah,
layers. Let's move to the
mhm.
George we have because we got to take callers. I think
Yeah,
he says
no, so
he
so
says based on Cummings coming back, money should be on the table. Daniel Cassell, and sorry, Lord
Daniel Chia.
Daniel Chie rather, and the other
The
folks,
others have to go.
yeah, and whatever else. That's the only way he can come back.
Not have to go,
What
but they
else?
have to be. They have to be in the back. They have to
Yeah.
be like the regular people.
So what else?
Okay,
Well,
no, yeah,
okay,
go ahead, Randy. Go ahead, Randy.
yeah. So
Complete your thoughts.
the reason I'm laying the premise, I believe in what I do. I'm confident in what I do. It has proven in the past. You see, all the guys that are making the noise, they don't know what happened in the back end. They don't know the conversation I had yesterday. I'm not here to tell these guys. They hire us ANC people. These people talk to me. I'm not going to come here to come open their secret here. So I'm not here to listen to some of these guys. If you were to check my phone record and you see people that call me, but nowadays I try to just calm down, not to give all the facts. But when I say what I'm saying, people know my importance. So I'll
So,
just leave it at that.
so let me ask you this question, and I want you to be honest here.
I have been honest
Is
throughout, though.
yeah, Randy, is Mr. Cummings a winnable candidate for the
Well,
Liberian presidency?
well, he can be, but it's not a winnable. He can be made to be a winnable candidate. You see, you
Okay,
got to
so
always listen.
what does he have to do to be a winnable candidate?
Well, one, he has to be very receptive to things. He has to respond to things because you see, there is a big difference between love and lack.
And he has to keep Jay Randy in his camp.
Yeah, that just the how they call it, say, the appetizer for that. Now,
The hors
election,
d'oeuvre. That's the hors
yeah,
d'oeuvre.
yeah, or reserve, I mean deserve. So you
Yeah,
see, election, brother Moses, the question you asked,
yeah.
election is not from how we see things. People vote based on likeness, not love. You see, today in the football world, the reason Cristiano Ronaldo got more followers is because people like him. Messi is a guy that people love, but the electability is going towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Mr. Cummings may be loved by few people, but he's not likable. There are certain characteristics that Mr. Cummings possesses that make people not to gravitate towards him. And that is his weakness. And when I say it is only me that can make that to happen, is because I know how to do it. You want me to give you an example?
Yeah,
The
give
issue
us
of the
some
gay,
example
the,
of those
the issue of the gay
weaknesses.
business here.
Yeah.
There have never been any ANC folks that have explained the issue of the gay. You know what they always say? Let it
No.
go, let it go. No, but the last time when I explained the issue about the gay business on my show, the call kept coming in. Because what I told them, in America, the lifestyle that we live, it doesn't mean that we are all gay. We work with people in this country that will sit across the table from you and tell you, say, I got my boyfriend, but that boyfriend is a fellow man. And I also told them, I said, in Liberia, when we used to be little, didn't we used to put our arm around our friend? Do that thing in America here, they will say you are gay. But you will tell the very person that our Lester in the country over there. The channel in which you get to the Liberian people, the ANC folk do not have that. They don't have that. I dealt with them. Remember, I campaigned against Mr. Cummings before. I know his weakness, I know his strength, I know his opportunity, and I know the threat he poses to himself. The people behind Mr. Cummings, they are not really into the native politics. When I mean native politics, understanding the nitty and gritty of the politics, they don't understand that. They think the big book will solve the problem. Or recently, have you heard Mr. Cummings? When I started campaigning for Mr. Cummings, what did you see Citizen doing? They started coming after me, right? Because they know the energy that I bring to the party. Today, Mr. Cummings is going. Do you hear them talking about Mr. Cummings that much? No. Because what they wanted is for Jay Ready to step back. Jay, yesterday, when I started asking Liberians, where is Mr. Cummings' children? That stirred up another issue again. And I don't want to bring that back here again because I got a lot of phone calls for saying that. So don't mind these people around here. As a political strategy, I know how to stir the dirty water to open the minds of the Liberian people. Why? Because that's the quality, that is what God gave me. How to run these things. They may come and say this, they may come and say that. They cannot stand the body politics out there. I have the tools, I have the equipment, and
So
I have the
Randy,
strategy.
let's move to George Weah because
Yes,
it's
sir.
8:05, and I want us to take at least 10 minutes on the George Weah. Again, as I said, he's the sitting
Mm.
president. Just tell her what happened in the camp and that you walked away. Part of the promo we did, you were very clear with the guy you were sitting with that
Yeah.
you thought Weah was the it, and but if he went contrary to what your expectations were, you were going to walk away. So just recap quickly, so we can open the line so people can engage you. Okay.
Yeah. So Mr. My connection to Mr. Weir was based on, I would say, our upbringing. I live on 12th Street in the swamp. I never lived a better life in Liberia. I was always at the receiving end of things. And I want the reason why when Mr. Comey even said we will not campaign in other districts that we feel we will not win, that kind of broke the spine on my back to support him. And it also gave me that opportunity to say, oh, I see why he was not returning my call. Because maybe he doesn't love District 11, District 17, because they might not vote for him. So it could be the reason why he did not come to me. Mr. Weir came from a very poor and humble background. Let's be straight out with that prior to what we're experiencing today. And I could relate to Mr. Weir. And then when Mr. Vatupa brought me on board, it always happened that Mr. Vatupa keep bringing me on board. And I was like, okay, you know what? These guys that behind Mr. Weir, these are former, warlord and other young people. We have to first get the act together. So I accepted Mr. Vatupa conversation. I met with Mr. Weir too. We said that we had a conversation. But this time around, it was on me because Eddie had just gotten the second time in office. Mr. Weir gave me a business card and said, look, reach out to me. In all honesty, I never reached out to Mr. Weir because election just, Eddie just won the election. Our basic, we our basic. So there was no need. So I still got a business card up to today here. So I left. But then later on down the road, when we put a strategy together and started to campaign for Mr. Weir online, at that time there was no Facebook Live. When the election was getting closer, I got a call and said, Randy, we need you on board. I said, all right, I'm going to join you guys. Whatever we did in the back end, I'm not here to say all the detail here. But what I said during that particular interview, you see the people that are asking questions today, during that particular conversation where I was really defending Weir, somebody called earlier in the show and said, if Mr. Weir become president, what will you do? It was when in that video I said, I know that he will be president, but if he doesn't do the right thing, I will come back here and criticize him. Again, they overlook it. They thought it was the normal Liberian. That's why I keep telling you guys, when I say something, you need to please believe me because of where I came from in Liberia, whole background. I married everything and I will to my words to everything that I said to be who I am. So you may come across 99 Liberians that will do the same thing. If you come against or toward Randy the 100th time, you will not get that answer you have been getting for 99 times. Many people took that for granted. Again, when Mr. Weir started to appoint Emmanuel Nukwe, Besonga Finley, same thing that Daniel Chieden, I like, whoa, hold on. These are the guys who wake up here again. What the hell going on here? What the hell going on here? And then when I started to provide my constructive criticism, Mr. Weir, these people destroy the government. But what I learned, and that became a bigger puzzle to me today, when they say Jay Randy is a flip-flopper, Jay Randy is inconsistent, let me give you the real definition today. You see our body politics? When a partisan from each party tell you, say you are a flip-flopper, they are simply telling you, when you are part of ANC, Unity Party, CDC, never question anything that warrant question. If it's wrong, stay with the party. If it's right, stay with the party. When you turn around and start to ask any question, that when your inconsistencies start. It is not about you asking a relevant question that's supposed to change things. It is your commitment to that party. So when I say why Mr. Cummings did not call me because he promised to call me for me to get information on District 11, they see that as inconsistency. Even if he doesn't call you, just keep doing what you're doing. That is a very standard line that every political party will go through. They don't believe in asking any question. That is why today when you can't support them, they clap for you. But by the time you start to ask questions, they say you are inconsistent. So what is the inconsistent if Mr. Cummings promised to call and I say, but why he's not calling me? The man inconsistent. I'm not going to campaign. The man inconsistent. So in America here, where when you go to where you don't get your pay and you find people picketing and protesting, Liberian men will say that man is inconsistent. Why? No, you don't get your pay. Just keep going to work. That's your company you work for, right? Just keep going to work. So that is how they call you inconsistent. Their inconsistency, it is not a standard inconsistency. Their inconsistency, and this is common among all the political parties. If Volcano Shelton represents the Volcano Shelton party, whatever he says or does that warrant question, if you're part of that party, you question it, you are inconsistent. If Moses is having his own party, whatever Moses is doing that is not right, that warrants some question, when you question it as a partisan, you are inconsistent. That is their fundamental reason they call you inconsistent. And that one make our politics very illiterate because they believe that when you are part of a party, don't question anything. Don't question anything. That is the definition there. And I want you guys to follow it going forward.
Let me quickly throw some shots out here quickly, Moses, before you come in. Uh, Titi Nimle, good evening, welcome. Seems to be your first time here in the Issues Room. It's good to have you. Flomo Livingstone, our good old friend, welcome. Vera Horace, you've been there 1,000 times. Andrew Dunn, seemed to be your first time. Adam Adams, seemed to be your first time. It's good to have you here. Jay Randy is pulling you guys. Gotta hear what the brother is saying. LIB Gayu, welcome to the Issues Room. We're here. Otello Dillon, it's also good to have you. Power, Tempo, Protocol Born, Overcome, Harrison, Koko. What a name. Now, I don't know how you guys can get to put this kind of name in Facebook. When I put my own, yeah, when I put my name for Kino Sheldon, the men say a robot. But it means you can put all the other things, they
I think what
accept
they
them.
can do, I think what some of them can do for Volcano, they go with their first name because later on you have the right and the privilege to go and change your name.
No. When I put
Oh,
volcano, they always say I'm a robot. But it may put power, tempo, protocol, born, overcome, Harrison, Coco.
that
Eh?
Ooh,
might be
And they
you
ooh.
say
down there.
he's
That
not
might be you
robot.
down there. That might
I'm
be
in a
you down
robot.
there. That might
Anyway,
be you.
so Edwin, Poto, Mayfield, Deco, Fergie, Monyu. It's a good evening to all of you folks. Ish R, Mark Constance, just like to say happy welcome to us here tonight in the Issues Room, where the Thompson, John Falai, Aretha Miller. Good to have all of you folks. Please invite others to join us. Henry Yango, Philip Pasua. Good to have you guys here. Randy
Those are
is
all my
talking. The
boys.
red
Those are all
meat.
my boys from the CDC
Yeah, the
camp.
red meat is here with us tonight. Moses will be opening the lines about a minute. No, I put it to
Yeah.
5 minutes from now. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to ask Randy, when you campaign for George Weah to become president of Liberia, then Jewel Howard Taylor, the wife of former President Charles Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
the mayor will transport
Mm.
atrocities to Liberia. Why didn't you tell Mr. Weah and the CDC people that, hey, I don't think the woman is a good face? Why did you allow George Weah to carry Jewel Howard Taylor, whose former husband is currently in prison because of the atrocities that he committed in Sierra Leone and some of the things that he did in West Africa? Don't you see yourself contradicting yourself now? You're coming after Cummings because Cummings brought on board Louis Brown and others that are associated with the very NPFL that Jewel Howard Taylor came from. But when she was on the ticket, you were all out there campaigning for George Weah and Joel. So most of your credit was say, but Mr. Dapo, we see inconsistency here. Do you agree? Are you there?
I got a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Did you watch the year I campaigned for George Weah?
No, I didn't watch it. I'm just asking
Now,
you a question.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
now,
Okay.
the reason I'm asking,
Hmm.
you got to know what Randy did before you ask that question.
Go ahead,
That's
Randy.
why I was just pausing to get your attention. And now I ask you, did you watch me?
No, sir.
I was not in favor of George or Joel Howard
Joel
Taylor.
Howard.
All my
Okay.
campaign, I never mentioned her. I never mentioned her. I was
Okay.
not a fan of her. If
But
you
yeah,
go
you
back to
champion
all
the
my
cause of the
recording,
CDC, right?
huh?
Yeah, you champion the cause of the CDC, whether
But
you mention her or
I was
not.
But I
only
think I
pushing.
think the man's only one agenda was to get we to be president. So it
Thank
didn't
you.
matter
But
who came
it,
secondary.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
but,
Here's the thing. Here's the
but
thing.
then that's a paradox.
Yeah, no,
Randy
no. Here's the thing
Quigley,
here. Here's the thing here.
Randy
Here's the
Quigley,
thing.
let me say this. That's a
Okay, go ahead.
paradox. That's a paradox. If then your focus was on making the CDC win the presidency,
Mm-hmm.
and now your focus is before you step aside a few days, your focus was on making the ANC to win 2023 election,
You see, there's a big difference
right?
there, right? There's a big difference there to your
Don't you
question.
see the same thing here?
No, there is a paper explanation to that. All right.
Okay,
Here's the
okay,
thing
go
here,
go
right?
ahead. Yeah.
In the history of our country, the vice president is a secondary person. So I'm not going to battle myself with Joel Howard Taylor, irrespective of what she did. Joseph Boga admitted that he was a park car. We all know that the vice president is a park car. All right. So when I campaigned for Kennedy Weir, I
Hmm.
was not worried or concerned about Madam Joel Howard Taylor because she was going to be a vice president. The question I think you should be asking me is, if Madam Joel Howard Taylor decides to run on the CDC ticket, and you ever decide to say, if they do pay you when you campaign for her, because you're going
But
to be the face, because you're going to be the face. Now, when it comes to Mr. Cummings, we have learned our lesson from the past.
okay.
I am a guy who improved along the way. Mr. Cummings came with a tone that he set. We cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. He
Yeah.
clearly separated himself. If Mr. Cummings can't say, join me, I just want to be a politician, I won't have no reason to hold. Everything that I'm holding Mr. Cummings up to is what he said. We cannot keep doing the same thing over and over. He just came up recently again. He said, I am not perfect. Why is he coming up with all these things? Is it something now that is coming to him that he cannot use as his defense about we can't keep doing the same thing over and over? That brings into question whether he's stable or whether he has changed. And with what he's saying, I who been in the political realm, I stand to differ with him. He set his own tone. And it's by that tone we going by. Leaders should learn to set the tone. You see, I think Mr. Comey has become, one of the reasons why I would say to you before the caller come in, Volcano and Moses,
Hmm.
I think Mr. Cummings, like Volcano says something about Mr. Cummings overlooking me, I would say yes. And yes, why? I think in Mr. Cummings' mind and his supporters, the close orbiter, they thought that they really got, he was mad with George Weah because he didn't get a job. But then when they saw me in his camp being very consistent with what I believe, they're like, this guy mean business, oh. Mr. Cummings, they got me business. We here to get our rating, but the man talking about he don't want to see Daniel Chia then yet. No. So I think in their mind, they thought that, how many people will leave on one party because they didn't get something, they can't and just keep quiet. No. I remain consistent with my three principles. If Mr. Cummings set the tune, he got to follow the tune. If Mr. Cummings bringing people who harm the Liberian people, I am not looking for jobs. And because I'm not looking for a job, and because I'm not a member of ANC, I will always speak the truth. I will not work with Mr. Cummings when he get these people among him. If Mr. Cummings does not return that message, because here what happened here, all right? I've been told that this lady they call Mariah, I don't want to bring her in the conversation. I'm being told that she runs Mr. Cummings' schedule. It came a time, one time I criticized her. She gave Prophet Key a slap on the wrist. She questioned Costa. I brought the two videos and analyzed it and said she was mad. When I got to hear that she was in charge of Mr. Cummings' schedule, I was like, what? And that when I started to push harder, wanting to know who respond to that message. Is it possible that she's the one? And that's why I wanted to determine the root cause of why Mr. Cummings had not called me. Mr. Cummings been incorporated. Coca-Cola, if you do the Security and Exchange report, Coca-Cola got a lot of litigation that they go through root cause to determine that. Mr. Cummings know that. His name was mentioned in there. If he doesn't call me, I wanted the people to know that he owed me that obligation to make that call. It is his promise. Is he going to say, oh, I will reach out to certain district? Like he said, those that will not vote for me, I will not go there. Is he going to be the president that will say, oh, because you didn't vote for me, I will not go there? No, he has to come back and revise that language he spoke. So I'm holding Mr. Cummings up to my three guided principle. And ANC out here, they got to understand who I am. I've been with CDC. I understood a lot. CDC now understand me. They now know who I am, what I stand for. That's why today when I come up, CDC have a conversation with me now because they now know who I am. But I think ANC folks thought I'll just come to just go with the win, agree with everything. No, I'm not here to agree with everything. I will challenge most of the things that I think that Mr. Cummings is not doing for the Liberian people.
So
Thank
Randy,
you. Thank you. Moses. Quickly,
yeah.
We out of time. It's 8:21. So I just want to remind people that the line's open now. Please call 404-272-2808. 404-272-2808, the number to call. And let's engage Randy. We see a lot of you commenting, but probably we'll give you a
Those are all
minute or so.
ANC people that they
Well,
mad.
as soon
Yes.
as I said it, the line is open.
I know that are all
Caller
ANC
from
people.
New Jersey, 6494. Good
Let
evening.
them
Welcome
know.
to the Issues Room. Your name?
Hello, what's my name? T. Excuse me. T.
Your name is
T
Key.
from
That
Yeah, I'm
TT
calling
T
for
Nimland.
that, Randy.
That TT
T
Nimland.
T
That
is
TT
calling
Nimland.
from
Oh,
Let
you
you
calling
go.
for that,
from
Randy?
Yes,
yeah.
I am.
No, please respect my guest. Oh, don't say
Mm.
My
that,
name
Randy.
Randy, isn't it?
Yeah, but not that
Yeah,
Randy now.
Randy.
Before the man.
All right.
All right, hold on,
Hey, listen,
hold on. 1
you don't let
second.
me teach me
Hold
how
on
to
now.
see you don't let me call.
Yeah, hold on now. Hold on. Let
Mm.
me tell this caller to stay in queue. The caller from Connecticut 0569. I'll come back to you. Please stay in queue. I'll come right back to you. Caller from Connecticut 0569. All right. T from Jersey.
Yeah.
T, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
First of all, before you correct me, Randy is rude and he the black people off his show when you tell him what you don't like. This Randy man, you ask him a question. He flipped and they answer the question. My thing is, you ask him when we are running, we are talk on 2 hours later as a running mate. He didn't see it was a problem because Joao Taylor husband was a warlord, but he still supported Joia and Joia won. Up to the time, I didn't say they say, up to the time Joia was president, Randy then was receiving the checks. There's something broke out between them and the CDC. There was a lady in Canada, and they see Randy had a misunderstanding. You see what I noticed about Randy? Randy is a political hustler. Randy like a little child. He want to hug coming to himself for him to be coming right here, man. To say, oh, come, okay, I call in the man. Guess what? He on the phone. Let's see, Randy, if you for Liberian, whether you get paid or be the center man or the quarter man, you either push the agenda or you step aside and let us do this. You understand? Enough is enough. You want to go back to CDC and they will use you just how they used you before. And you, whether Mr. Coming or you call or not, you keep waiting for that call. You don't lie and you a hustler. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's take the call from Connecticut 0569. Your name? Please lower your gadget, please.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Can you lower your gadget? It's coming,
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
us feedback. Thank
Yeah.
you. Your name?
My name Otero Daniel. I'm from Connecticut.
Go ahead.
You see the colors, in life we had a
Can you hold a
compromise.
second? Let me put this caller in queue quick. Just hold a
Who are?
second. Yeah, just
Okay,
hold a
okay.
second.
Okay.
The caller from 7571 New Jersey. Please hold. I will come back to you. I have a caller already in queue. I'll come back to you. Uh, yeah, go ahead, Connecticut. Connecticut, go
Yes.
ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah. You see, one of the things you see, like, bro, behind time, when you're behind time, is to compromise and try to talk to one another favor. You see, the caller just started insulting Ray Johnny, Randy on the show because he supported CDC. Also said, no, we can't do that. The man said his principle. He told the people his principles. Now, what he believed in. I don't care what people believe is your principle in life. People have to believe what you say. When people believe what you say, that what will fight you for. Will believe you, what will follow you for. I'm not fan of Randy, but I'm a fan of his belief sometimes. I always told him. But he can come today because he not supporting Kumi, then he trying to go with him that ride. So why you're calling the show for? I thank you for the show anyway. Mr. Randy, I like your belief. Always follow what you believe in. You know, in life, this country, Liberia, is not for one set of people, it's for everybody. We had to let us do something that will develop the mind of the people. We're talking about the children that were in camp play, in ball play, in Kola home, that had no copyboard to write on, that had no slipper to wear to go to school. This is the people Ronnie speaking for. He's not speaking because Georgia, he's not speaking about Kumi, but Kumi has everybody has a set principle in life. This is why we call on the show then to tell people like we're not talking about because we live in the United States. We live here, we got everything. Our children that got conflict, they eating conflict. Those that sit down on the boat in on our call, in Kolahun, that have people to go to school, those that we're talking about today. Caller, we are here to believe that Liberia is better for everybody, not just one set of people.
Thank you.
I see some people saying, no, let me go there. I see some people saying, those days. You know about those days? Those days, we talk about Yekipa and Boma. I live in Yekipa. People used to have those days. Like, bro, our whole used to go everywhere. You see light, you used to see roads. The boys say, oh, those days were good. We eat careful, we clean in school. We did that, we color in school. Let me just put it that way. But like, bro, trying to change in the right direction. Thank you for your show and thank you for everything. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Joe Rani.
Thank you. Let me go to the caller quick from New Jersey. Are you there, caller? 7571, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Your name?
Thank you so much. I'm OG calling from the state of New Jersey.
All right, just hold 1 second. Let me take another New Jersey caller.
Okay.
Quick, come right back to you. The caller from a 4667 Minnesota. Actually, it's Minnesota. I'll come back to you, please. Just stay in queue. I'll come back to you. All right, New Jersey, you're on the line.
Hello.
Yeah, you're on the line, New Jersey. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Let's be quick. Thank you.
Mr. Dapo. How you doing, Mr. Dapo?
I'm okay. I'm on mute, so
Hello?
I'm okay.
Mr. Ronnie Dapo, can you hear me?
I'm okay.
Yeah, he's hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Dapo, thank you. I want to commend you for having some type of integrity and being very principled minded to withdraw yourself from the think comments for those people who brought destruction to our country. But I have a concern. I want to know specifically as to why you did not withdraw, or why did you draw Mr. Tim Cummings when the former child soldier, Mr. Yeka Kolba, who is the current representative, why did you draw Mr. Tim Cummings when you know Mr. Kolba was part of that team? And my second question is, I watched one of your podcasts one time and you said you will never and ever support Mr. Boycott. Is there a specific reason why you're saying that? Why do you think you will not? Why are you saying that? Why will you not vote and support Mr. He's the only person that you will never support. Is it because of those individuals that are around him that are waiting in line to go cut their part of the elephant meat? Is that a specific reason why? I want to know today. Why wouldn't you?
He will answer you. He will answer you. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me go to the next caller.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Randy has just answered that. Put that question on his agenda. The caller from Minnesota, 4667. Your name? The caller from Minnesota, 4667. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please,
How you
please,
all doing?
yeah,
Can you hear
quickly, your
me?
name.
Good. Yeah,
My name
good.
is Pastor Mo, and I'm calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. Can you all
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shelton, and the brother that Institute, Mr. Randy Dapo. I must say this like you.
Yeah, he's Randy.
Sometimes I listen to your program. I really don't listen to you because sometimes you go hard on my candidate. I'm a supporter of Robert Joseph Nyamambogai, but I must tell you that I respect you for what you have said. There is a reason why I refuse to support Mr. Cummings, and the reason why is that he's a man of rhetorics and he's not a man of his word. And it's just a matter of time for Liberian people to see the truth. And it's so shame that in our society, people don't want people to stand up to the truth. And if we are going to elect people into offices, we must hold them accountable for words that they use and not just use it as vain words. Because if you say this and we see you doing something else, it's scary. And for you to come up and say, oh, I mean, what this man is saying, he's saying different thing, he's doing different thing. I mean, I respect you for that. I respect you for that. And Lucky Dubis sang a song. He said, whenever you stand for the truth, you stand alone. So don't expect everybody to like you. But for me, my ideas and my voting for Honorable Joseph Boyka will not change because I know he is the real deal. Thank you very much
Thank
and
you.
keep up your good work.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why people say the calls are going to voicemail. The line's free right now. So those of you, Vera, and the other guy who I okay, good. Someone 484. Let's take the 484 caller from Minnesota. 484.
Hello, brother. How you guys
Okay,
doing
just
tonight?
hold 1 second. Let me put this caller in queue. The caller from New Jersey, 6494. Please hold. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. 6494. Okay, Minnesota, you're live. Let's be quick now. Come on.
Yeah, but my name is McDonald Nyako. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Thank
I
you.
want you guys to start making this guy famous. This
Okay.
man can't be nowhere to win election in Liberia. If Como win election, he'll win election. If Joel win election or Waka, this man cannot stand over for winning election in Liberia. Start making him famous, please.
Thank
Just
you.
start making him famous. He didn't get followers.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. The caller from Jersey 6494.
Hi, it's me, it's T. How you doing?
Come on, T. Listen, when I see you
Wait,
again,
that
I'll
one more
put you in
call.
the
That's it. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect wait the
Mr.
Randy, right?
Dapo. Yeah.
Now I'm not calling him Mr. I said Randy. My thing is, here's the thing. I'm entitled to my opinion. The caller that called from Minnesota. I'm entitled to my opinion.
All right. Okay. So can you just
Randy, hold on.
T?
Okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
let me put this caller in queue.
But he
The
do so
caller from
with
West
courtesy.
Virginia 5694. 5694. I'll come back to you. The caller from West Virginia. I'll come back to you. Just stay in queue. All right. Go ahead, T.
Yeah, my thing here is Randy did not know much about Cummings and he jumped on the bandwagon. Nobody forced him to go there. He went there on his own and he started saying that he like what Mr. Cummings stand for, whatever. And like the caller that just left the line said he always was hard on Joseph Boycott. He insulted everybody. You understand what I'm saying? My thing is people that Randy, that's me, that my opinion. The caller from Minnesota, this thing, we in America and we entitled to our opinion. I don't trust Randy. Randy stand for nobody but for Randy. Randy is hustling. Randy is a political hustler. That's me. That's how I feel. And he was still on inside. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let me take this last call and then we'll come to Randy. The caller from West Virginia. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. How
Yeah.
are you? This is Sarah Horace. How you guys doing?
Oh, very. You finally got through. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
We're
I
doing
finally
great.
got you.
Yeah.
Your feeder guest for the tyranny. I follow your show every day. My problem with you
Okay.
guys from the
Please,
ANC,
please hold Vera. Let me put this caller in queue. The caller with the Minnesota number 9370, last four digit. Please hold. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. 9370. Go ahead, Vera.
Okay. My problem with the city guest is the city guest said he left Cummings because Cummings did not return his call. He left Cummings because of Donna Chia, Louis Brown, and so. But UANC folks stands right there. Musa ability destroy the Labor Department. They to give it to Edison Cummings. Musa ability, you did not. Oh no, Mr. Comey is, I mean, British is not a real person. British got bad character, or you can call over got bad character, but now you default with him because of Louis Brown and Donna Chia. Fine, that is with you, ANC folks. Y'all have finally destroyed the Liberty Party. That's my party. That's the only party I have become. Never spoken nobody but Child Walker Bronson. That's the party ANC is destroying today. Period. Now, the only thing that I have to tell you, when you come to politics, Jay Randy, let's talk politics. Let's talk about the different things that people are going to do for our people to benefit. Stop attacking people personally. I watch you attack Joseph Nima Bwaka over and over, talking about his health status. Oh, look at that. He on computer. Does he know computer? How much book do you know, Jay Randy? You're not educated more than some of us here. Stop the breaking. Again, you were on Costa Health again. How do you know that Costa got cholesterol and he going to the gym to train? Those are all cheap politics. Take the real thing. Let's get to the bowl.
Thank you.
Let's get to the bowl.
Thank
The
you.
next time you attack my candidate, I will attack you personally. Thank you.
Hold on now, Vera. Vera, go. Okay, let's take this last caller. Minnesota 9370.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm here.
go ahead, quick.
Hi, my
What's
name
going
is.
on here? Hold on.
My name-
7111. This will be the last caller, and we'll put everybody else in queue for Randy to respond. 7111 New Jersey. Please hold. We'll come back to you. Go ahead, Minnesota.
Hello, my name is Harrison Coco. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Well, that man with the lonely, why is it a robot?
Yeah, my Facebook name is Power Temple Protocol Born Overcomer Harrison Coco.
Okay, go ahead.
But that one there, nobody can
Let
hack
me say
you.
thank you to you guys for the show, and let me say good evening to Mr. Rennie Dabo.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm listening to the show, and many callers, I've been listening to them. They have all sort of things to say. You know, let me say this: librarians are very good at rejecting knowledge. We are 100+ years old, and nothing is changing in our country. Many librarians, they don't want you to be that person that stands for the truth. Once you stand for the truth, they has all kind of things to say about you. They will criticize you, they will castigate you, and call you names. That's why Mr. Rennie Dabo is going to, because he stands for the truth, he speaks the truth, which of course they don't want to hear. They want you fall for them, or you don't say nothing at all. And he refused to be one of those. That's the reason why he is experiencing all their criticism. But I want to acknowledge him and tell him that he should keep standing for the truth, doing the right thing. They say many are called, few are choosing. Yeah, the few librarians that are very reasonable, they will listen to you and they will implement those things that you are saying into their personal life. So just continue doing what you're doing, Mr. Rennie. And thank you guys for the show. I appreciate the recognition. And this is my first time listening to the show, and I will continue to follow the show. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're on Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, let me take this last caller in queue, and then we'll come back to man Randy. 7111. The caller?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
quick.
My name is Abraham Fofana. I'm calling from New Jersey. The first thing I will give Randy a knock sign for what he stands for. You know, let me bring this to my very self. I work for a company and I stay on this company for a long time. And this few times they start to bring in people that they give him more money. And I went to the CEO and I told him, I've been here over this time and I'm making this amount. And the guy told me, for real? Yes. Okay, I will call you within the next 2 hours. Or I will send you email. Within 1 hour, 30 minutes, I have an email in my phone, and the guy directly came to the office to see me what is going on. So if somebody tell Randy is doing the dirty work, he's the engine. Randy not sleeping, 24 hours, he's up. Randy is doing this kind of work. If you promise Randy, I'm going to call you, I'm going to text you, and the man waiting in his office, he can't see this call coming. Come on, you're playing your game with him. So I will tell Randy, stand for what you stand and your belief for the Liberian. So thank you for your great job. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Jay Randy, listen, I know it's kind of overwhelming, but some people just commented that they didn't really put stuff. So I know you wrote a lot. Just go by it and just kill it. So when more callers call, we can go back to the line. But I did say earlier that probably Mr. Cummings doesn't take you seriously. Just like this guy is giving you a classic example, his, president of the company call or sending him email. So why is Cummings not calling you? That should be something that you need to think about.
Yeah, let me answer that question. I think I did answer that question. I think Mr. Comey is not coming for the change, and he probably figured out that he thought I was somebody who, like the regular politician or regular talk show, who would just come and join him and just follow what he does so that he can get elected. But when he got to understand who I am, what I stand for, what I say, and I think the people who have been doing the same thing over and over, they're like, this guy, he ready up for change. And the little opportunity we're trying to get, he exposing us, stay away from him. That is my best guess. Now, let me firstly say thanks to all those who made a very honest statement here. And those are people who follow me very well. Yes, they follow me very well. They know what I stand for. They know my principles. They know my integrity. They know what I stand for. Vera Harris talked about Joseph Walker health. She would be interesting. I know when she was in America here, when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were talking about the health, I'm sure she was a Democrat and she wanted to see Donald Trump help something, right? We have to introduce, you see, our politics is illiterate. Many Liberians are illiterate to the politics. All they see is just the candidate and the candidate will win. But the different substances that support the candidate, we got General Buhari in Nigeria that took 9 months into UK to go see medical help. Total on the taxpayer. Joseph Boga, he's a public servant. Everything of any public servant in Liberia must be known. Your income, your health, everything should be known. You see, Liberians supporters believe in protecting their leader by love, and then when you challenge the law with integrity or with transparency, they get mad. Mr. Boka will have to provide his health status. You in America, before you go get a job, don't they send you for medical evaluation? Of course they do. So one way by a public servant. So I'm not going to back down. Mr. Boka will have to provide a health record. It's not personal. All right? It's not personal. We don't want to inherit a leader who will become a liability. All right? So we have to do that. Number two, she mentioned about Henry Costa. What do people go to the gym for? You go to the gym for cardio fitness. If Costa do such a thing again, I can come out to say, of course. Costa will get ready and say all kind of nasty things about people. How does she feel when the man, when he describing Boka, when he describing Cummings, or he used to describe Boka as a sleepy Joe? Harris, what was your response at that time? When you say dead man walking? Your Costa, what was your response? That is the dishonesty of some of these people. They are very dishonest. This guy has said a lot of nasty things about people. They will not come to say he said it, but I'm forgiving him. So let's try to move on. So you see, it just goes to show that their law does not condition me to factor in my transparency, my equity, and the reality. McDonald talk about, I don't have no supporter. McDonald, I don't need supporter. The logic that I have surpasses everyone. Costa cannot come here and tell you that he campaigned for anybody to be president. I had done it. Any one of them, they had never made anyone president to campaign for that person. I had done it. So if your ego, if your jealousy is beating in you, you got a long way to go. Cummings cannot be president without my support. I stand by it. Y'all will see it in the end. Y'all will come by and say, oh, they're not you the one that called the man to lose. No, I'm saying it right now because if I campaign for him, he can win. And I will say, yeah, he cannot be. He cannot be. Speaking about follower, I got what I will call legible and dedicated followers. Go on my page, you see the people that follow me consistently. It's not the bigger number you got, it's the logic that you present. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world today. Billions of people listen to him, right? I rest that case. Let's come to the guy from New Jersey, OJ. Yeke Koluba is just an example of how people use people for the wrong reason. Yeke Koluba know very well that the communist team don't care for him. Someday he will say he's fighting for Boca, that's why he want to support communists. But he's very irrelevant right now to me. He's not a major player. All right? So I will not dwell on Yeke Koluba that much. Now he talk about Boca. I campaign against Boca to have him defeated for George Weah. If I ever go back to campaign for Boca, that means everything I said about George Weah is wrong. I can't do that. I can't do that. That one the reason why I cannot support Boca. Because I said Boca was incompetent. He could not make anything.
So I was going to ask you this question, Randy, so that you make this declaration here in the issues room tonight, that if the Boycott camp saw anything valued in you as a political propagandist who can, bring hundreds of thousands of votes to that camp, and they reach out to you, put it on the table. Now you said that campaigning would require, your knowledge, and you want to be paid for it. It seems as though you're not thinking like, what's his name? Eugene Fagon. That means I'm supposed to vote for you. That means I'm supposed to campaign for you for free. All right, Jalopewa, Eugene Nangwe riding $100,000 car. So it looks like I open now. So the free thing we're doing here in the issues room, someday we'll not be doing it free again, because the political people who want to come to talk, that we got to do it because this costs money. Moses and I come out of pocket to support this. Yeah, Moses and I, we have never raised money for this platform. We've never come to anyone to say, oh, we are stranded, let's put it into it. This is coming out of pocket. So at some point, we're not going to be doing stuff for free, But yeah, so come back to the biker thing, and I want you to always have an open mind.
Yeah.
If the biker can reach out to you because they see something in you, the thing that what's his name, George Weah didn't see in you, the thing that Alexander Cummings writer is not seeing in you now, and the biker camp saw that in you and it reached out to you. Are you saying you're not going to change your mind?
Yeah, I mean, this is a personal commitment I made. When I stood up to campaign for George Weah, I felt that Boca was not a right candidate. So I still stand by that today. And the question he asked, if I do campaign for Boca against George Weah, that means that everything I say about George Weah is lying.
But everything you say about George Weah is not lying. He's displayed it. That's why he walked away.
Well, it is up to you guys, but not up to me. I campaigned for him. I'm on record. I campaigned for him. What I stood for, those things were true. It is whatever the Liberian people see today, that is not true. They have to fight for that. But between George Weah versus Boca, I said
that you said in that promo I did that if Weah does not live up to the expectation, I'm a very controversial man. If Weah does not live up to the expectation, I will walk away. So are you telling me that Weah, the things that you saw in Weah, he still
has he live up to any?
Well,
are you telling me that?
Well, what I can say,
well, Liberia is considered a flow rate.
Listen. What I can say, and I want you guys to understand, I'm not supporting George Weah today since 2018. That means I differ with George Weah a long time ago. So whatever you're saying now is just of the past now. I differ with Mr. Weah.
But you said something here that about bringing me to this concern, that you said what you said about Weah against Boycott, it still holds value true. That's why you can never cross it.
That was the campaign that I ran. That's why I said whatever I said against Boycott during the campaign of George Weah, I cannot campaign for Boycott because I will be going back to take my words. It is one thing to put a candidate out there. It's another thing for the candidate to perform.
Yeah,
but
but
if you want a better Liberia,
Volcano,
if you now claim that your new name is a better Liberia for a better Liberia, and if the people think that Boyka, even if he's give him
If
Liberia
people think it,
one
I'm not
term,
thinking so.
if you give him Liberia one term, let's just hypothetically say one term, would
Hmm.
it be for a better Liberia than 12 years of George Weah putting the country on autopilot?
I mean, for me, you know where I differ with Honorable Borkai. Honorable Borkai served in many positions before becoming vice president, and we
Mhm.
cannot relate to the different positions. He don't have the transfer skills, the experience to take from one job to another. That was the basic of me campaigning against Uncle Joe. All right, and up to today, Uncle Joe had not even separated his vision from Eddie's vision. And on top of that, I campaigned against him because I felt that he was not the right candidate. I mean, to be very Liberia centric, if the opportunity is given to me strategy wise, I can provide strategy, but not to campaign for Honorable Boka. That's all I can do. I can provide a strategy, but not to campaign for Honorable Boka. Let me just be honest to all the politicians, because I mean all the listeners here today. I have that skills. I'm confident in myself. I got that resume. All the other talk show you see around here today, none of them can come here to tell you say I campaigned for George Weah. I mean, I campaigned for the candidate to be president. I still stand by what I did, and my history will remain unchanged. Now, let me just finish up quickly here,
So
for Ken, if you don't mind here. So this lady they called TT, they were the same people that were singing Hosanna, putting their lapper down when I joined the ANC. Oh, we didn't know how smart you were, why you went behind that party. But these are the people who will define inconsistency. If Mr. Cummings does the wrong thing, they want you to stay with Mr. Cummings. Says Titi, you live in New Jersey. You say I'm a hustler. The company I work for is in New Jersey. If you want, I can invite you to my office. Any given time. If you want me to send you my business card right now, I will send it to you. I'm not a hustler. You spoke about education. I went to 3 schools in the country. I depend on my education. And that's why I always say I don't need job from anybody in Liberia. Yes, I don't need job from anybody in Liberia. Personally, I have my own investment. So I don't want to brag about things. But if you say I'm a hustler, that's fine. I'm hustling for the Liberian people by telling you the truth. All right. So yes, call me hustler. But as an educated person, I'm not going to bend over SSTD. You live in New
so
Jersey. I work in New Jersey. So let's get that one straight. All right. Now she said I'm very rude. You know, when you hit things to the core, they call you rude. If I'm rude, then how would she consider the guy who calls people man all the time? You don't find me causing people. When you misbehave, you get disciplined. She came on my show, she was out of character. So I had to block her. Instead of she coming back to say, Randy, try to be civil with me. I know we may have disagreement, but she can't. Randy is very rude. Randy is this. No, I'm not rude. I've been with my wife here since 1998. You don't find no community. Right now, what do I have here? I'm going to go do some community service in the United States. I just received a letter today. If my character was bad, I won't be getting the kind of invite from the United States government. I'm a very quiet person. I know it hurts when you see somebody who can make your leader to be viable and they turn around, but you got to accept the reality that I'm operating on equity, equality, and transparency. Now, she also mentioned about somebody talking about giving me check and stuff like that. You know why I broke up from CDC? Because I wanted the truth. They didn't give me the truth. And why did they do that time? They said they gave me money. And I told them, you'll bring the receipt in this country here. Everybody that gave money can bring a bank account, right? You guys are here when you send money to somebody. Won't you provide a receipt? I asked them, you're not bringing the information. Bring the receipt that show my name. And I will go in there and I will bring it. I currently work in partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. My name is in the Department of Homeland Security. They monitor everything that I do in this country. All right. Some top official came to this country recently. When I brought my laptop, I showed them their mouth were open. You think I will get involved with receiving any kind of huge money and it will not raise alarm? But you know, people just try to play the cheap politics but Titi, I think you should focus your energy on finding somebody who will campaign for Mr. Cummings and just leave J. Randy alone, because I am a Z fighter. The more you attack me, when I start to expose Mr. Cummings, it will hurt. I got important calls yesterday because of what I said. Mr. Cummings children will be visible. People in the ANC can't call me and say, Randy, you are opening a new kind of war that will give you a hard time. Because Mr. Comey are not showing himself his children to the people. Ellen King never showed her children then. We didn't see that in the war. When she took over, they brought in all her children there.
And all of them became millionaires.
Need to show his children there.
So, Mr. Randy, let me ask you two questions.
Yes.
The first one, regarding Mr. Cummings' children,
Mhm.
what is the essence of that question? What does that imply? Because there's a whole, propaganda. I don't know whether it's propaganda, but there's this a story out there that Mr. Cummings struggles with gender identity, right?
So yeah, so
Yeah. So are you implying that there's some degree of truth to what is being said about him, since you're concerned about his children?
no, I mean it has nothing to do with his morality.
Okay.
Remember the question you asked me about my family?
Yeah.
And our the democracy we practice, like I said, is very foreign to us.
Yeah.
In this country that we live, that we tend to learn and be happy here,
Mhm.
every political candidate will bring their family to the people of America.
Okay.
We expect every politician, we know we are children. We know Boca children. We know Charles Taylor children. We know Ellen children. We have a candidate, Mr. Uepa. I don't need to talk about Mr. Uepa because that one I get him A+. His children are on the ground. We can see them. Now, if you want to be the leader of a country, how will people value you as a family man?
Okay.
He should be able to bring his family and say, here is my family. Let everybody get, because when these people get to see all your children, there will be the likeness coming from other people. Say, I think I like the way she talk. I think I like this. But if you're cheating your children, what does that speak to? Is your child or are your children better than other people?
Okay.
Is that why? And eventually when he wins, let's say that hypothetically now, if he wins, what will happen to those children? Those children will have diplomatic rights. They will be using the taxpayer money to get protection. So if he doesn't bring those children to us, how sure are us or are we that he's going to be a true leader? Family is the first badge of government. He needs to be on the ground. Why should your children? Just invite them. Eric, Donald Trump grandchildren, and you saw all of them. We all know Donald Trump children. If we want to practice the democracy, we need to be very honest. And I will say this to ANC people. Remember, I campaigned against Mr. Cummings. There are a lot of videos out there. There are a lot of images I have. So if you think you want to challenge me, or it takes me just 1 week, Mr. Cummings' image will be politically destroyed in the eyes of the Liberian people. Because I'm going back to what I did to make Mr. Cummings not to go anywhere. I've been
So, Randy,
on a roll.
Moses,
Randy.
Moses,
Yeah.
let's watch the time. It's
Yeah.
It's 9 o'clock already.
Oh,
I have a
yeah.
call- I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
caller in
2 minutes
queue.
to
Yeah,
9. 2 minutes to 9.
just
Yeah,
one
yeah,
question of Volcano.
But I have a
quickly.
caller. Let me just take the one caller. Hold your
Okay,
question. You're
sure.
coming.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Caller, quick. You will be the last caller for the night. You guys sit around and wait until we're almost done, and then you call 9294.
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
Come on, T. Is that you again?
No, it's not. It's my twin sister. Can I ask a question?
Lottie, don't
You
play
know
that
what?
game with us,
I'm
man.
not surprised at you.
You're talking
The
to
question you
intelligent
asked you,
people.
Randy, it will only be respectful and respect to Mr. Cummings that you invite him on your show to
Sure.
ask him that question. And number two, Mr. Cummings children are adult. If Mr. Cummings starts a run campaign, his children won't be part of it. They will come. Mr. Cummings children are babies. So I'm sure when the time comes for campaigns, his children will come. They may say it. So I don't know all these cheap shot Randy pouring. Nobody got time for it.
All
And
right.
if you got any question for Mr. Cummings, Moses, I'm Mr. Cummings. And I think when you're trying to recruit on Randy for boycott, ain't working. If you're dependent on them, man, sooner or later you will tell on boycott too. Thank you.
Nobody recruiting Randy for boy. All right, Randy, you got to respond. Moses, ask the last question. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, so Randy,
Yes.
is Mr. Cummings a hypocrite? He says one thing and he does, the opposite. Is he a hypocrite?
Mr. Cummings is making himself more difficult to understand. That's how we describe him.
Okay.
He has a
Okay.
lot of inconsistency. You know, when
Okay.
you do quadratic equation, that C is
Mhm.
the constant variable. He's not
Mhm.
that C. He keep fluctuating. One, he said we can't keep doing the same thing over and over. Librarian of the
Yeah.
expectation that everything that we had done that continued to make us to go the wrong route,
Mhm.
Mr. Cummings is coming with a change. Mr. Cummings can say he's not a perfect person, but when you look at the characteristic of being perfect, we got reject imperfection and we got accept imperfection. Reject imperfection means you will reject people, but you will work with them at a certain level. Accept imperfection means the person did wrong, you will accept them to work with you. Mr. Cummings cannot differentiate when he said imperfection. So it's becoming more difficult, and that's why people don't want to accept. So let me say this. Everything you said from the beginning of the show that Mr. Cummings was describing Mr. George Weah, Mr. Cummings is a flip-flopper because he doing the same thing over and over by asking questions that he's not supposed to be asking. So he shouldn't be saying, "Oh, too much stealing, too much this." No, and he says that means that he is not stable because the society we find ourselves in, we're not supposed to describe anything, right? Because if I
Mhm.
see the ANC get money from their global team, why aren't they providing a financial report? Oh, that man a flip flopper. Why are you asking for that thing for? So Mr. Cummings should not be saying anything to President Weah about too much of stealing, about the country being on autopilot. He is flip flopping because according to the supporters, nobody should say anything about their candidate, and CDC will not accept Mr. Cummings to say anything about their candidate. So in our political mindset, Mr. Cummings, when he made a remark, and I'm only relating to how they think, Mr. Cummings is not consistent. He's inconsistent. He's a flip-flopper. He should just say, you know what, I can be better president. Let Mr. Weah keep doing what he's doing. Don't ask questions about Mr. Weah activities. Because if your supporters are not willing to ask questions, we cannot ask. Somebody say you should bring Cummings here. No, we all should challenge Cummings. You see, when people want to macro manage things, they want to be the how other parties here are doing. Oh, let the president go the way. They want you to bring Mr. Cummings. But when you bring Mr. Cummings, start asking the tough question, you're going to get all that funny faces. Because, you know, she just accused you, that color, that you're trying to persuade me to vote for Boca and not going to happen. No, if Boca come, I will ask Boca the tough question. For example, have you separated your vision from Ellen? Is it right to be part of the CPP and say you can't be vice president anymore when there is a democratic process? When you're asking the question and you have a democratic process, they see you as inconsistent. Like I said, their inconsistency is based on the fact that you cannot say no to your candidate. Don't question your candidate. Just keep saying yes. And that's why when you leave from one party, you go to the other party, they clap for you. If I had stayed in the ANC without questioning anything, everything you hear them saying about me was never going to be said because I'm flowing in that direction. But if they wouldn't come out, like I was saying, they come out, oh, Randy this, Randy that. No, I am Randy. Liberia will not change me, but I will attempt to change Liberia. And if I cannot change Liberia, I will remain here in the American principles. I rest my case for the night.
And let's wrap this up. So quickly,
Yeah, sure.
just to say this is the closing question here.
Yeah.
What is the future for Randy Dapo now that you've flip flop, as they're saying? I'm just
Yeah.
taking the
I mean,
social media
I don't
cue.
mind with that. My character
I'm just
remain.
taking the social
The
media
only
cue.
people that I will worry about
Yeah.
is the people that we all worry about. Is the American people in the country say Jay Reddy is a flip flopper. I will worry. But when it comes from Liberian people, trust me, I don't even think about it at all.
So quickly,
So that
what is the
doesn't bother
future?
you.
What is the political campaigning propaganda future for Jay
Yeah,
Randy?
yeah, that's
Now
a
that
very
we
good.
have a thin thread, we only
Yeah,
and
that's a
hold
very
on,
good
hold
question.
on.
That's a very good question.
Yeah,
That question was asked of me even on
I'm
the CPP
coming.
platform. Oh,
So
go
I'm
ahead.
coming, right?
Sorry.
So we have a thin thread.
Mm.
We have Tiawon Gonglo.
Mhm.
We have Boyka, whom you emphatically say you will not support. I don't know of any other candidate. I know of Daniel Cassell, but he has some legal issues that is still
Yeah.
being sorted out. Um, I heard there's a young man will be bringing on the show soon. His name is Ben Fong. Should be
I know
coming up.
Ben. I know
Yeah,
Ben.
he should be coming out
Yeah.
in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be featured here. So I really don't know a lot of people. There's another uh a gentleman that I saw when I was in transit in Paris,
Mhm.
France. The name is I believe he's, oh God, how can I forget, Edmonds or Tillmons or something.
Okay.
Ammons, some Ammons. Yeah, he should be running as well. So there's a few people out there behind the scene. Maybe I might just declare myself to come up. So
Absolutely.
where do you go from here now that you're not going to support, and don't tell me you're going to support We Are in the second term? Are you? Are you going back to We Are?
Let me say this here, right? Let me say
Because
this.
only three
Let me
people we know
let
so
me
far
say
here,
this.
and you
Yeah,
you
let me
say
say
you're not
this.
supporting two
You you,
anymore.
you posed a question. You posed a
Yeah,
question here. All
yeah.
right. If you recall, you asked me what will it take for me to join Mr. Cummings. One, I said they gotta pay for my knowledge. Two, I said he gotta let the people go. Three, he gotta learn how to communicate. Now that was just specific to Mr. Cummings. Now, when it comes to where do I see myself, when I supported Mr. Weir, I did it on a voluntary basis. When I supported Mr. Cummings recently, I did it on a support basis. Now I'm in my third phase now. I have learned my lesson now. Anyone who needs my help, you have to pay me for my knowledge. I'm open to anybody. I'm
So
open
how
to anybody.
That includes
so
Waka now. You said
I
yeah,
anybody.
told you earlier. I told you earlier that if Boca need me, I will only provide services through strategy, but not the campaign. So if
okay.
Boca needs strategy from me, they have to pay for my brain so that I can be able to provide them with strategy.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so
any political party that need my help, the first thing we negotiate is for you to pay me. Because nowadays you have to set yourself. I'm coming with a resume that has given a candidate a position today. And I'm proud of that because I have what it takes. All right. I got in Mr. Cummings a strategy. Today, Mr. Cummings vernacular is hitting airways in manga. People are now calling and speaking their dialect, understanding Mr. Cummings' vision. That's something
Okay.
that I gave to them free. All
All
right.
right. So let's close here. The last thing I wanted to ask you was, how do you leave your audience now, the supporters who still
I
stand with you here
Mhm,
tonight, and
mhm.
those who now see you as a man who flip flopping, a man
Yeah.
who looking for job, a
Mm,
man who want to feed his belly, a
mm,
man who is not correct. Some people
mm.
say you mentally challenged. Some people, all kinds of things. How
Yeah,
do
they
you
will
leave
say
those
those
people
things.
now
They
tonight?
will say those things. You see,
Yeah.
Jay
How
is
do
a
you
guy
leave
who hurt
the two
people's feelings.
sides?
Yeah.
Let's wrap this
You
up.
see, Jay is, the truth hurts, but it helps. Liberians are not willing to hear the truth. So they will resist by giving you names. But you must remember that the very people who criticizing you, when you go join them today, all the belly, the flip flop, they will never mention that. But I remain who I am. If you truly believe in being a Liberian with centricity, the centricity of a Liberian for me, equity. What is good for you? If you believe it's good for your fellow Liberians, then you will fight for some level of equity. Equality, whatever you think should be measured on your level, should also be measured. Transparency, whatever you believe needs transparency, you should also, reciprocate the same transparency. Those are the three principles I'm guided with. Are they willing to go through these things? If they are not, then they will go. I can see them. I used to have CDC before, but because they live by party identity, they're going to CDC. Recently, you will have ANC. The first time you brought me here, there were so many here. But because I challenged their status quo, they are going. Those that will remain with me, they believe not in any political individual or party. They believe in the transparency, the equality, and the equity for all Liberians. They believe that for a better Liberia, we must ask all the questions we should challenge ourselves. All the other people, they are just mere party follower that don't get the damn about the country owning themselves. That's all. That's why they're not going back to Liberia if you want. They will not go back to Liberia. Right now, you ask them to go back to Liberia right now, they will not do it. But they will want the Liberian people to go and vote for a candidate that they know they themselves will not live to follow. So I remain unchanged at who I am, all right? And I'm happy with my position for Canada. People can say whatever they want to say. The question they should be asking themselves, what are they telling the Liberian people now that will convince them to vote for their candidate? Because in the end, next year, this is the 31st of October, right? But next year, we'll have another edition. By then, the election will be decided, I believe. For Canada, by God grace, will be here. And what I said, that coming will not go through. I will be back here for us to shake hands and laugh and say, I told you guys. Without me, he's not going to win. I rest my case and thank you guys.
Thank you, Moses. Moses, no more question. Let's call it.
Yeah, Moses, ask the last question, please.
Yeah,
You asked the man multiple questions. Go ahead.
Let Moses
Yeah, wrap the show.
We
Wrap the
gotta
show,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
wrap the
ask
show,
the
yeah.
question. Go ahead.
Moses, can you ask your question, the last question, please?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I know we gotta go. Just wrap the show, Volcano. It's okay.
go ahead. Ask the
Go
question.
ahead, Moses. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, the question I've rather been, juggling with is that you said Mr. Cummins is inconsistent.
Mhm.
He flip flops.
Yes.
And you come again, you say, hey, if Mr. Cummins reaches out and say, hey, Mr. Dapo, I will pay you for your skills, I will pay you for your time.
Mhm.
How do you support someone that you don't believe in?
Well, I gave you my strategy. It's up to you to keep the consistency or to remain flip-flopping. When you buy a brand new car, it is up to you to maintain that car. When you buy a brand new house, it is up to you. I gave you all the guidelines. If you don't behave yourself, that's it.
But the people want your face. If you're gonna be a face of the campaign, then you got to believe in what these
If
individuals
they need
believe
my
in.
face, then they have to accept my guiding principle, which they are not willing to do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Time is against us.
Yes.
It was good having you.
Yes. Anytime
Ready?
you guys need me.
Yeah, Randy, we want to wish you
Good
well
show.
going forward. I know again the sentiments are all there.
Yeah.
But
It
I was speaking
was
with
so
some.
die off. Any doing that, you give it 2 weeks, it would die off.
I spoke with someone who said you got thick skin, you can take it.
Oh, yeah. I've been taking it for a very long
This
time.
person, it was the first time watching the show.
Yeah.
They're all the way from Ghana, and they said that guy he got thick skin.
No, let me say this here before we leave, right? In this country, as an environmental manager, we regulate things. We go against union. Union men will look at you and spit next to you. They will call you the N-word. Hey, those people can't move me. That Liberian people can't move me. Hey, I've been around for a long time, man. Trust me, man.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.
Man.
It was a
Pleasure.
pleasure, Randy. It was a
All right.
pleasure.
Bye, guys.
Great show.
night.
Yeah.
All right, Moses. I got things to take care of, so we'll call it
I
a night.
know.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll run around tomorrow. I'm not sure, but again, our viewers, there's a potential that we'll have our broadcast tomorrow. At some point, we'll decide. Since we'll come on at 7, but if not, we'll try to push for Friday. Again, we want to thank all of you for being there with us. We encourage you to come back again Tuesdays and Fridays. This was an exclusive production. We usually don't do Mondays, but we had to bring in Randy to have this special conversation. Thank you all for coming through. Moses, I'll catch up with you.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. And I'm Volcano Shelton from the Issues Room. Good night.